Greetings, welcome to my channel Midnight Contemplations Art. Well, today I will be drawing Persephone from Greek mythology. So in Greek mythology, she is the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of agriculture, but then she gets married to Hades, so she's sort of a fun character to draw because you have to sort of show both those sides of her. So I'm doing the sketch here. I spent so long on this sketch. I don't know why, but I did. I think one of the reasons is mainly because this is for schoolwork. It's actually quite important schoolwork as well, so I spent a lot of time on it, but I couldn't really be bothered to make two videos basically. One for my schoolwork and then one for just this, so I decided to just do this. So I'm supposed to be doing this in the style of Artemisia Gentileschi. I can't say names. Yeah. So her work is mainly just very realistic oil paintings, which is not my style. So I decided to make the colouring look a bit more like an oil painting while leaving the proportions, etc., to be more like how I do them, because I couldn't be bothered to try and get the references and all, making sure that they're YouTube approved, because YouTube would copyright strike everyone if they had a chance. So for the character design, I went for something quite simple. I just went on Wikipedia and all those other websites, just googled the appearance of Persephone, and what I got was that she had dark hair, dark eyes, and she wore long flowy dresses, which is not that helpful, but it's something, I guess. I also wanted to show sort of the duality of what she is. She's both the wife of Hades, the sort of worker of the Underworld, not the god of death, because that's Thanatos, there's a difference, but also that she's also the daughter of Demeter, who's the goddess of agriculture, etc. So she's got quite a striking duality between life and death, basically. So I have this goal to show the death part. It's kind of cliche, I know, the whole skulls and death, but it's the best I could come up with. This piece took ages, and I spent I believe at least half of the time I spent on this piece on this sketch. It took me ages, and I don't know why I spent so long on it. I didn't even do line art for this. I was just so done with the sketch at this point that I was let's just use this as line art. But I do think it made this piece look more organic, which is kind of what oil painting does, so that might have worked out. And as you can tell, I don't know how to draw pomegranates at all, because I wanted to have a nod to the pomegranate story where she ate 6 seeds and now she has to stay in the Underworld for 6 months each year, and that's sort of how winter and summer happen according to the myths. And here I'm just drawing the flowers on the flower crown because I sort of forgot to do that at the start, so yeah. I don't know why, but I feel like this piece is kind of disappointing, and I don't know why, because it's probably one of the best pieces that I've done in a while. Mainly because I never have enough time to properly do it, but this time I managed to make almost 4 hours worth of this, but yeah, so I don't know, I just feel like this piece was a bit disappointing. So here I'm putting all the leaves and things in her arms. I don't know why. I don't know what she's doing with them. I don't know the point of this, but I'm just gonna go with it because I really can't be bothered at this point. I feel like at this point in the sketch, I was just sort of waiting for it to be over. It was honestly just eating away at me. The clothes I kept relatively simple, nothing over the top and with embroidery and all that. like a dress with those flowy bell sleeve things that I see on like those old Greek pictures and things. So that's what I went for. Here I'm just fixing up the hands because I don't know, like hands are hard to draw and they make very little sense. I'm just erasing all the extra lines within the sketch because I'm going to use this as line art. I can't be bothered to make line art. So here I've coloured in this sketch to use line art in just dark sort of grey, I think. Now here I was testing out colours for the skin tone. She's like, it isn't really said what type of skin she has, like, but I'm guessing sort of like an olivey skin tone, just because like she would be from Greece, or at least like in the myths she would be described as like a Greek. So I tried to go for the olivey sort of, she's in the sun for quite a while skin tone, but like not really dark. And it looks very vivid right now, but it isn't as vivid at the end, probably because I've done so much shading and highlighting that at the end the real skin tone sort of isn't there, which isn't a terrible thing. Like, I feel like with how our skin works normally, you never really know the colour because you're always affected by light and shadow. So you only really know the actual colour of your skin when you're standing directly under a white light, have your palm facing directly up. And here I'm just doing the eyes. I don't know. Like at this point in the piece, I wasn't really sure where to take the drawing. Like if there was any specific like style that I wanted to use, because I did know I had to do an Artemis and Shilevsky's like esque style, because that's the point of this entire project that I'm doing. But it's still a bit like, I might do a video where I show you all 3 of the drawings that I've made for this, because we're meant to have 3 outcomes. I might do 4, because I'm extra like that, but yeah. And here I'm trying to do the blush, and just blending it to within an inch of its life. For some reason though, I feel like this disappears later on to become a lighter colour, so you don't even see it at the end, which is really annoying. But I'm glad that you can see it here. So here I'm doing the hair. In most of like the Wikipedia and other articles that I've read, she's said to have dark hair, although in some people portray her with like blonde hair, which is apparently incorrect. So I'm just doing the base colours for everything, just putting everything in colour. And here's where I started messing up. I did something with the layers, and I'm not sure quite what I did with the layers, like something happened to them. And yeah, for the rest of the drawing I paid the price. This is why you should always draw on the right layer. This is why. And yeah, so a lot of stuff happened. It just took a long time. So I'm doing the skull. I don't know how to draw skulls, and I couldn't really be bothered to like do studies of them for this piece specifically, so I sort of just went over everything and hoped that it would work. So I tried to portray the duality of her character as sort of like, she's holding a skull, which is weird in its own, but yeah. And she's also wearing a darker dress. Like in a lot of portrayals, she's wearing sort of like a light, happy coloured dress, like yellow or blue. I sort of decided to go for the dark green just to show that she has like a bit of a dark character. Consider that she's like the wife of death. That sounds weird to say. And initially I made the sleeves green, but I decided against it and I made them black. but since they're so deopacified, it basically looks like green, which I enjoy. I find that fun. Yet again, I do not know how to colour a pomegranate. Like, I have seen pomegranates, I've eaten pomegranates, but like I don't know how to colour one. Now time to do all the plant life. I don't know why, but I hate doing plants. They're just so boring to me and I just don't like them at all. It's not the fact that they're plants, it's just like I don't like drawing them at all. They're just so boring and they take so long and yet, like, they're so intricate. I might just have to like do some studies to like make myself learn how to do them, because oftentimes I'm just drawing random things and hoping it looks like plants. So here I'm just trying to fix the mistake I made with layers, but I don't in the end. It sort of just turns out badly. Now I'm shading, and my shading style is very simple. You just take one color, usually like the opposite of the lighting that I'm going to use, and in this one I was going to be using like a sunlight sort of thing, so that's that. And yeah, I just blend it out. And one thing I realised in Artemisia Gentileschi's pieces is that she tries to go for very realistic lighting and shadow, while I sort of just go for like basic. So I had to really go for it this time around. Also, she tries to place her shadows and highlights quite near each other, which I think is interesting because I haven't really seen that as a thing before. So I tried to do that as well. I don't know if you noticed there, but I shaded on the wrong lip, which I found out later, but I couldn't be bothered. And I'm also in this this video, I was trying out a new way of colouring in hair, or shading it at least. I saw on like some TikTok or wherever, where you have to like basically just use the blur tool but make it small, so like, I don't know, I'm not even sure if it works. Because it looks alright, but it still looks streaky and weird. I'm just shading the dress in. Nothing spectacular here. Shading in the plants, I don't know what I was doing here. Trying to shade in the pomegranate. And then I think in this piece I definitely overblended a lot of things that should have dark, like solid shadows, sort of ended up just with like wispy shadows, especially these roses here. I feel kind of sorry for them, they don't look like roses at all. Highlights, just basic highlights here really, except I'm trying to go a bit more detailed as that's what Artemisia does. Can you tell I'm trying to not say a last name because I can't pronounce it and I feel like I'm being mean if I pronounce it wrong. So yeah. And this new way of doing hair, like, I'm not really sure. Like, it does look like hair and it's better than what I used to do, but I don't know, I just feel like it isn't the way I like to draw hair. So now I'm highlighting and shading the things on the sleeves of her dress. Just very basic, like, colours. The skull. I don't know why, but I really like that skull, even though it's probably not anatomically accurate at all. I just really like that skull. And just highlighting everything. The roses. Again with the overblending, but then I do a little bit of stuff here, but it still doesn't work enough. And here we are, doing all the extra highlights for her eyes, mouth. And then I tried to do a green background, but then I thought that the green was like, there was too much green and I didn't like it at all. Tried to do like a halo of pomegranates, but then I didn't like that. And you can see that little green speck there. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't fun. It was just getting the layers. So here I'm just doing the sign, and I decided to do blue at the end. So this is the finished piece. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. Yeah, that's just the end of it. I hope you liked this video. I hope to see you again. Bye.